Yeah, the magic of Leichhardt strikes again. They are just a different team at Leichhardt Oval. And what we saw at Leichhardt Oval and the strength of the crowd behind the West Tigers, I think that's what the Panthers are missing, that home ground, that packed Penrith Park. They're missing that. But for the West Tigers, 20 points to 18 over the Sharkies in Golden Point at Leichhardt Oval. It was off the boot of Adam Dewey with the game-winning penalty goal. What a game, Brian.
Terrific game. Nico so close to being the hero with that 47 metres. And I'm not just saying that because we get 47 ticks. we looked at it. It was 47 metres.
Wow.
So that's just, but again, the front row, both front rowers, Terrell May and then Fanua Blake, were just brilliant for both of their sides. So the Lockie Galvin, it was probably a good thing to come back on Anzac Day. Now I know it was a pretty special day for all of us, but the boos were kept to a minimum, I feel. Yeah, because people are recognising the Anzac Day and what everyone went through, and there's just bigger fish to fry. Correct.
Like it's just
correct. So
in the context of what the Anzacs went through versus bloody rugby league.
Correct. And then his second touch, just dummy, or second or third touch, just dummy go and laid on a try. So
he was involved in all three tries.
Yes.
But back to Terrell May, has he done enough, Brian?
Oh, he has to. He has to have.
Yep.
I feel.
Yeah.
He'll handle it.
Yep.
And probably the biggest thing for him is he doesn't miss tackles.
No.
You know, we can all have a look at the offloads and his running meters and stuff, but in Origin, you've got to look at defence because that's where we're not going to score many points, and that's where it's so important to be in the middle and not miss tackles and make ineffective tackles, and he doesn't. I think he's like at less than 1% he misses tackles.
Yep.
Like he's at 98 point something. Whatever
That's huge. What a player!
And he's played 90 minutes.
Wow!
In the middle,
He has
I don't know how he can sustain this.
No.
Because your body's sort of. I know he's only a young kid, so maybe Benji's just thinking, well, he doesn't need a rest.
No.
Maybe when he starts getting a few niggling injuries, but at the moment, he doesn't look tired.
No.
He does not get tired.
But when you think about this, where he is at his career, and then you think about the 10-year contract for Tino, and you think about the Jason Taumalolo contract. And it's a bit like the running back in, the NFL. The problem with signing these guns to long contracts is it's so taxing, these big frames churning through such big metrics. It's so hard to be at the top of your game for so long. Whereas a halfback, they're bopping around, and I'm not saying they're in a dinner suit, but nothing like these big frames are doing.
No.
And not just that, the training sessions and the...
Yeah, it all adds up, but he's only young, so he's in the prime now. What are you thinking the Tigers should offer him a 10-year deal?
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't offer any of those big physical impact type players long-term contracts.
You want to lock him up though.
Of course you do.
Especially,
I'd rather pay overs for a shorter period than tying him for a long time because they can quickly hit the wall. Raiders, Brian.
Yeah.
Raiders, and I was driving back from Mudgee and I was listening to some of it on the radio, and my best bet for get them on side was Raiders -4.5. And Jimmy Smith had the call. And at that time, it was 20 to go, and it may have been 28-16. And I'm thinking, I'm gone. I turn, after having a few chats on the phone, I turn the radio back on, and Jimmy says, well, a comprehensive win by the Canberra Raiders.
Yep.
And I thought, what the bloody hell happened there?
They went berserk, and I'm going to bruise you. I'm bruising myself. I had $100 left in my account. And at half-time, they were $9, and I had a bad day on the punt Saturday. Chances are you're about to lose. Well, I did lose on Saturday. So I thought, you know what, Hail Mary time, and boom. At half-time, they were $9. And the Dolphins...
Won by 12.
It was like Ricky... I heard Joey Tarpany come out and said, the coach gave us a bit of a talking to. I could only imagine.
Wow.
I could only imagine because they were a different team coming out.
Wow.
And... But in saying that, they look real flimsy on their right side. So Fogarty side.
Oh, yep. So the right side, that's not Hudson Young, not Chris. So it's
Timoko and Matty Nielsen. But Matty Nielsen was
Savage.
Yeah. Matty Nicholson, sorry.
Yep.
Who did I say? Matty Nielsen. What's he? Who's Matty Nielsen?
He's the old boomer, the basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No relation to Leslie. No relation.
No.
Isn't he? But they just got the job done in the second half. This is why because they're so fit.
Yep.
Ricky Stewart's sides are always fit, and they came back in the second half and just steamrolled them. And
mate, the full package at the start of the year. And I warned him for this.
What did the package say?
He tipped the Raiders for the spoon.
Package. This is. I don't believe it.
You can't tip the Raiders for the spoon. It's so hard to win down there. And plus, Ricky flogs them. They will never get the spoon under his watch.
Have they ever got the spoon? I think 82 when they first joined.
Would be a long time. Manly's never ever got the spoon.
Manly's never got the spoon.
Never ever got the spoon.
No. Anyway.
Speaking of Manly, Brian,
great game.
Thomas the Turbo came back and things just changed in a hurry.
It was, it wasn't his dominant. He wasn't his dominant best, but just having him out there, a bit like Mitch Moses, just gives you comfort. It's like your favourite doona.
Yep.
And he's out there. It does take the as they say in the game, takes the crabs off the other players because when you're watching him, you're defending. He goes, "Where's Tommy? Where's Tommy?" Which allows someone else to have a shot down the short side. Penrith are in all sorts. I'm going to declare it chromey. So I did the maths last week after they beat the Chooks, and I thought they can make it. They can make the 8. Officially, they cannot make the 8. They are gone. Gone. So they're going to lose 5 at Origin.
Yeah.
I know there's a bye part of that, but it's just the bridge too far now.
Okay, go on the early crow. Brian Toto is likely to be named, and we'll reveal this tomorrow at 4:00 team list Tuesday. Will that sway you to pick them in the game, or would you go Reece, Walsh out, Dowd around Adam Reynolds, and the Broncos at home for Magic Round?
I can't. We've given them too much. After I watched them against the Chooks, I thought, the first half they were diabolical.
Yep.
Second half they sort of came good, and we were talking about the luck with their kicks, and I thought, this might change the way, but they just don't look like they're threatening, and it's their big players.
They're not robots, Brian. They've been in the last 5 grand finals.
I know.
I think they just hit the wall.
And I think I don't think they've hit the wall. I just think the pressure of it now, living up to that. Maybe
every week, teams are up for you.
Yeah.
Every week. They're not getting any easy games.
And they're not looking at the team sheet. They're just thinking, it's Penrith Panthers, full-time premiership winner.
Yep.
They're going, we've got to be up for this. And I know it's hard being who they are, and everyone sort of wants a piece of them, but I think it's just a bridge too far. So what's it? How many games they've got to play? They've got 15 games to go, not including buys. You need 13 wins.
Yep.
Is that right? They've got 2. 10 out of 15.
You can get 12 wins. 12 wins, but you're going to need a good for and against, which coming from the back of the field, it's going to be hard to have that.
Yeah. They're going to lose 5 in Origin.
Yep.
I mean, I'd hate to see this team. They've got a lot of young kids coming in there now. Without Cleary, you'd think, Liam Martin's not going to be there. Isaiah Yo's not going to be there.
Yeah, when you say not going to be there, you mean they're going to be playing State of Origin.
State of Origin.
Yep. No, 100%. I don't disagree with that. They are bottom of the ladder. Can you believe that? They are bottom of the ladder.
Are you giving them a chance to make the
8? You know what I did this week? I went and looked at their for and against. They're against, actually, after 7 rounds in the last 5 years.
Yep.
And one year they were 44 points after 7 rounds. They're over 200.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the worry. That is the worry. It's just they just don't have that control in the ruck when they defend.
Yep, exactly right.
Now, Roosters 46 defeated the Dragons, Brooksy's Dragons at Allianz Stadium. What a day. But Roosters, this is two years in a row. 106 points at the last 2 games. Sandon Smith, game of his life. Game of his life. I know you're a fan of Tedesco. What'd you make of the Roosters?
I loved it. And it feels like a bit of a deja red, white and blue, Brian.
Oh, I like that.
Like this would happen last year. They were plodding along, come out to Anzac Day, went berserk. Next week went berserk at Magic Round. Tedesco any other day. He's won everything just about in the game, James Tedesco. He's never ever won the Anzac medal, the Ashton Collier medal. And he couldn't have got closer. But he run into a bloke called Sandon Smith, who just had the game of his life.
Yeah, everything just came off for him.
Everything.
It opened up through the middle. And they look such a better team. I don't like saying this, but Marky Mark on the wing, that's his position.
Billy Smith in the side.
Do not move him, please, Robbo. Even if Billy Smith, unfortunately, gets injured, you've got to try and get another centre because Marky Mark is too good on the wing.
I tell you who's going really well and not getting enough praise. Nafahu White.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Considering Jared's left, Lindsay Collins has been in and out. Like he hasn't been. And this kid has just stood up. It's a bit, he plays very similar to Pole.
Yeah.
I
agree with that.
You know, like they're shorter in stature,
Yeah.
but just powerful.
Yeah, big
Good leg speed.
post-contact meters, big leg speed. Blake Steep was good. Good kids coming through. So could they go on a run? We'll find out. They've got a big game coming up against the Finns at Suncorp Stadium. So anyway, Warriors 26, Brian, defeat the Knights 12 at a sold-out Christchurch, 5th straight loss for the Knights, but they've got no points, Brian.
Oh, it's block for a block. They do it. They just do it anyway. Like, it's not even if it's a slow play the ball.
Yep.
They do a block for a block. It's a fast play the ball. They do a block for a block. It is so manufactured and predictable.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch. The try they scored was just it was the 50th minute, and it was Dane Gagai just taking them on himself. There was no fancy play. They've got to do more. I feel that as soon as they go 2 passes wide, they're so slow and cumbersome. I feel that they should just maybe play more off the 9.
Yep. And they're so...
And quicker. Like, be a bit more flatter.
Yep.
A bit like Melbourne used to play in the late 90s when Noddy was playing. It was
direct.
It was all on the advantage line.
Well, even Noddy was saying in the SEN coverage on the weekend, saying that, a lot of these teams aren't playing direct enough. He would play quite square and up the field he went.
Yep.
But what they're working at, we did a piece on this on Get 'em On Side early in the year around the Knights killed the Dolphins. And it was a numbering thing. Like, you just got to have numbers on Kalen Ponga. Wherever Kalen Ponga is, it's a 90% chance the ball's heading that way or they're setting up.
Yeah.
So you've got to stack that side. And it feels like people are now doing that and they're not scoring any points. So they need a foil. You can't just be all in on Ponga. You've got to come up with the fact and think ahead and go, okay, righto, they're overcompensating for Ponga. So how do we come up with something that's not Ponga?
Yeah.
So we can get an advantage. If they're stacking Ponga, then you've got an advantage on the other side.
Yep.
They've got to start coming up with something that's not Ponga. And
Fletcher Sharp.
Fletcher Sharp.
Fletcher Sharp in broken play. He's dynamite.
Dynamite.
Maybe they've got to chance their arm a little bit, offloads, maybe getting him into the game like that. But going to the left and going to the right with a block, and it's hard in the wet as it is. But take nothing away from the Warriors. They're a legit team.
Okay, all right. 0457 736 736. Another game. This happened a few times this week where they're struggling. It's 16 points to 6. Titans are leading the Cowboys. You wake up, it's 50 to 18.
Yeah.
Cowboys won. What's going on?
This is two weeks in a row for the Titans.
Yeah.
So they're the opposite to the to the Raiders. Yep. They're fading.
They're fading.
Yeah.
Tommy did 5 try assists.
He was brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant. Both sides of the ball too. Like his defence, you know how he's such a little goer.
Yep.
He just chases everything. I tell you who I like, and I'm digging his style. Kentucky Derby. How good is his? I want to see Kentucky in the clear.
Local.
Yeah.
You want to see local?
I want to see local. I want to see Terence Trent. I haven't seen him in the clear yet, but he's just one of those, like he's got a bit of hammer about him. Just stylish.
He does.
I'm digging him.
Terence Trent, he got a hat-trick. Australian outdoor living breakout performer in the SEN League coverage. Will Jeremiah Nanai, can he do an Angus Crichton and a Connor Watson, who started the year playing a little bit of reserve grade and then became a major star in Origin? Do you see him in Billy's plans or not?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Coaching masterclass by Toddy Payton, dropping him.
Yep.
He knew what he's doing.
Yep.
He knew what he's doing. He was a bit, he speared him down to Queensland Cup. He had a few errors in him, but that's what you get with a bloke like him. He's big and fast. Goodness me. And he's on the left now.
Yeah.
He made Origin playing on the right.
He did.
I know he's been playing right for the Cowboys for the last couple of years, but they've moved him over the left.
Who's the front runners for the Queensland back row?
Well, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Is there
Jaden Sewer?
Well, Both for more.
Both for more? For Fita?
Feeder, yeah. Size 7 boots was good.
He was good.
He hits a hole. Who else do they have? I mean, Felice probably no. He's been playing front row.
We're dead set missing someone. I know that much.
You know what? I don't care.
You don't care?
I really do not give a rat's about Queensland.
What about this? Bellamy versus Bennett. 14 straight for Bellamy. And this was an interesting stat. Ryan Pappenhausen has never not scored against the Bunnies.
I saw that. So that's 7 in a row now for him. I mean, he's got to be in the conversation. We talk about Teddy being fullback. Surely he's in the conversation.
So there's 14 straight for Bellamy. Rabbitohs have never won in Melbourne
No.
after 20 attempts. Pappenhausen never not scored against South Sydney. It is crap stat central.
Yep.
Suafalongo, and this is what they do. They've got a kid who's just waiting in the wings. How many times this year alone have Melbourne brought someone in? Grant Anderson scores a hat-trick, comes in. Kane Bradley comes in, flies up the clouds twice, carves them up. Suafalongo comes in. Tyron Wishart comes in last year at certain times. And they just come in and star immediately, don't they?
Yeah, well, I feel that it's expected of them.
Yep.
Because they're down there, they're quite insulated down there, and so they train with each other. And I feel that if you get picked, it's not, it's your debut. It's, well, you've got to come to our standard. You've got to be brought up to their standard. And invariably, they all aim up. Every time you get Joey Chan in the centres, like he's a back rower, front rower, playing in the centres. He did a terrific job for him.
Unbelievable. It is unbelievable what they do down there. Just on Marsden Shotto writes, hey, boys, Darby is a sensational kid as well. Kentucky, local. Terence Trent. Genuine Michael, he says, Marsden Shotto. Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear. I
want to see him in the clear. I want to see
I.
a race between him and the Hammer.
Yep.
Just stylish.
Who are they playing this week? The Cowboys. Warriors.
Oh, that'd be a good game.
Okay. I don't think anyone from the Warriors could foot it with him.
Metcalf?
He's sharp. He's absolutely sharp. We might squeeze in should we get the Ben Hornby press conference? Yes. Let's do this. Ben Hornby on why Wayne Bennett missed the presser.
Wayne's tooth fell out, so he's not talking real clearly, so he's let me have a go tonight.
His tooth fell out.
Yeah. Wayne Bennett had...
I thought he had dentures anyway.
No,
Can you lose dentures?
You can lose dentures. Wayne Bennett had summer teeth. Some are there, some aren't. Broncos 42 defeat the Bulldogs 18. Coming into this match, the Bulldogs had conceded 58 points.
Yeah.
After this match, it became 100 points. It was a Broncos blitz. 6 tries in the first half. They took a 34-blot lead into the break. And with that, Brian, credit to the Bulldogs. But they fought hard in the second half.
They fought hard in the second half. The damage was done in the first half. It was the halves, Benny Hunt and Adam Reynolds. And I suppose that's why, they're experienced enough. They probably should have beat the Warriors the week before, and it was on those two.
Yep.
We were quite critical of them, saying, look, when the game's in the balance, it's up to your two halves. And they responded really well. It'd be great being a half or a 5'8", getting on the back of those two front rowers.
Yep.
Paddy Carrigan and Payne Nurse.
Oh.
Far out.
They've got so much blue sky. They could win the comp. There's no doubt about that, the Broncos. Mind you, don't write the Bulldogs off. They're still going to be there. It was just, Shawnee, the trader, used a term, which I totally agree with. Sometimes in punting or in games, there's a yin and yang. Everything went the Broncos' way.
Yes.
And everything went against the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. They're still in this game. Don't worry about that. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.